Hello, my name is Sydney Sladovnik, and this is my project for Project 9 for COM210 about technology and how it has changed throughout the years. For this project, I interviewed my grandma, Kathy Moore, who is definitely over the age of 50, and I would consider her pretty well educated on technology from today, as well as when she was a kid. And growing up, she was always very good at working with everything that was coming out and always took every opportunity to learn about it. And pretty much, she was fantastic to talk to throughout this interview and for this project. My grandpa there on the left does make a quick appearance at the end, but yeah, moving forward, to start off were records. My grandma went into extensive detail talking about how much she enjoyed records and how that was pretty much her childhood. It was always walking down to the record store and buying either a single or an album and being able to go home and play it right there on her record player. She had a portable record player that she got to keep in her room, and she really wasn't. She mentioned that the loud, kind of heavy music wasn't totally a part of her generation, but her music was always pleasant. Her parents always liked listening to it. No one ever really complained. And aside from that, she really enjoyed music. She would save up her money babysitting to go buy a record. And when we were talking about the cost, she said that it always cost 2 hours worth of her babysitting money, and she made 35 cents an hour babysitting. So if she wanted to buy a record, she would have to save up. And she said she didn't spend it very often, but when she did, it was always really exciting. Yeah. The radio was also another one of her favorite parts of growing up because it was essentially television. That was where they got their entertainment. They had radio in the car, and she remembers like driving with her dad and like her family just kind of listening to the people talk on the radio. And there was like some music, but she emphasized that there was a lot of shows and programs, like Friends. She added that as we watch our random TV series at home and on the couch, that they would tune in to the radio to listen in on those programs for their entertainment. And then my grandma grew up in Nebraska, so the radio also always had farm reports, which would just talk about if the weather was going to be good or if it was a good day to take your pigs to market, because they would need to exchange that information one way or another. In terms of television, my grandma said that it definitely has changed the world and it changed her family. Her house was the last house in the neighborhood to get a TV, which kind of bothered her, but once she got it, she was very happy. She did mention that the quality of the like presentation and like the HD that we get today is not anywhere close to what she grew up with. But they kept the TV in their living room and got to watch it as a family, and truthfully enjoyed it. Everyone would kind of gather around, and that's where they watch television. But there were only a couple channels, like only a couple programs to watch, and she said they were typically done by 10 p.m. at night, if not earlier. So this 24/7 unlimited channels and watching options, something very new compared to how she grew up. Film was one of her favorite things. That this is where my grandpa tuned in to add how his experiences were, but they used to go to the little theater in her hometown, and they would only show like one movie at a time for a couple weeks, so you would only get to go see maybe one, maybe two movies a month because that's all they would show. But musicals were super big when she was growing up, and she especially liked the musicals. Um, my grandpa tuned in for this last part saying that currently they've become movie aficionados in quarantine and with COVID times, and my grandpa detailed a kind of strange movie that he really likes right now. But other than that, my grandma really liked all like the 60s classics, like New Kid on the Block, like great movies. And now to wrap things up, this is my grandma's social media. She is on Instagram and on Facebook. Uh, I would say she's actually pretty far futuristic for her generation who struggles with social media and this kind of technology today. But she did say we spend way too much time on all of our devices, her included. But she has definitely gotten acclimated with today's lifestyles and whatnot to the fullest extent.